horsepower, so it's about at 730. I don't want to push it more than that. Guys been asking for an update on older videos. Y'all been commenting on them, so you know it's time. I needed to make an update video on this car, just briefly talk about where it stands at right now, well, you know, what's all been done to it and whatnot. So we'll kind of cover that here in this video. But yeah, I mean, it's been almost 6 to 8, no, to be honest, I think it's been a little bit more, like 8 months now. And the car's supercharged now with the LSA blower. It's been fantastic. I love it. It's been treating me well. I mean, we did run into some issues at the very beginning, but we got that ironed out. So let me just do a quick walk around. I got it sitting on welds right now. And let me go ahead and get the hood popped open. That way I can take a look at the blower. There she is. All right, so let's quickly talk about it. So previously from my last video, I posted just a quick you know, idle after we got the cam swap done on it. We got the blower installed, but let me just recap on this. So LSA blower, the blower has been ported. It got ported by Boost Mode Racing here in Houston. So yeah, like I said, the blower's ported. The snout's like a 102 port. He even painted the lid too. Did a fantastic job. So we ended up going with a GP tuning cam. So David Gower over at GP Tuning, he's the guy that spec'd out the cam for me. I reached out to him a while back. So I've seen a lot of his custom cams inside CTSVs, like the 2.5 cam and whatnot. So I was really interested in getting a cam from him, and it's phenomenal. I like it. It makes really good power. We'll talk about the power here in a little bit. But yeah, so pretty much we got the blower installed, new cam in it. Converter also got swapped out. So before it had a Circle D 3600, now it's using a CTSV or Z01 stock torque converter. So that's what's in it now. Here is the 5-inch intake, and pretty much it runs all the way down inside of there. So actually the filter sits all the way like down here. So I just really try to get it as far away from the engine bay. That way it's not sucking in hot air from here, so it's sucking in air from down there. So I do need to swap this out. This is still the stock. I mean, it's a ported LS3 throttle body, but it's still technically the stock one. So I do plan on going with like a Nick Williams 103 throttle body. So pulley setup, 2.55 up top, and then just using a stock lower. So far, I mean, it's working. I like this combo. It makes about, so here's what happened. Originally it made about 10 pounds, and then we fixed actually the bypass here, or this right here. The blade wasn't closing all the way, so it was leaking a little bit of boost. So once we adjusted that, took it back, got it retuned, and it picked up like almost 40 horsepower, and it picked up about almost 1.5 pounds. So currently sitting at about 11.5 pounds, using a 4 Innovations fuel system, so a dual pump with ID 1300s injector dynamics. So I mean, in my opinion, I think I got plenty of fuel for now. Let's quickly talk about my cooling setup. It's kind of hard to see in there, but I am running a Z01 AFCO heat exchanger. Previously I had, I think, a heat exchanger that was originally made by like STG Motorsports, and it did pretty well, but I needed something a little bit bigger. I mean, I'm down here in Texas, so it gets pretty hot. So this Z01 heat exchanger is doing a pretty good job. My AITs are roughly about like 18 degrees above ambient. I would like them to be a little bit lower, so maybe I can try to change my pumps later on. But anyway, so down here, so right behind here, I do have the Varimax pump back there. So that is sending fluid to the back, and then in the trunk is where I have like an ice tank with another pump that sends fluid up here. So it comes, it'll go into the blower lid, come down, go into the heat exchanger, come out, go into this pump, and then send it back there. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at that over here in the back. All right, let me just move this. Oh, and I always carry an extra belt, because you never know when the current one might go out or break or whatever. So if that ever happens, I'm prepared. I can just easily put that one on and get my ass home. All right, so let me push this off back here. And all right, so here's the ice tank in the back. It's about like a 8 to 9 gallon tank. Here's the other pump back here. So pretty much if I ever need to drop in ice, I could just open this up, put in a bag or two of ice, and then you know, bring down my AITs, cool down the blower. But yeah, that's pretty much how that is set up back here. And then I can always just drain it, just open that valve up right there, and then the fluid will come out. All right, so let's quickly talk about how much power did this car make. It originally made 700 rear wheel horsepower and 650 rear wheel torque. That was before we fixed the issue with the, again, with the, I guess, bypass, the blade not closing all the way. So once we got that fixed, like I said, at about 11.5 pounds, it picked up about 30 rear wheel horsepower. So it's about at 730. And I'll go ahead and put a video of the dyno whenever it first got dynoed, and I'll show some pictures of the actual graphs. Let me go ahead and turn it on, let y'all hear it. little bit. Alright, so let me quickly show you the inside. I haven't really done much on the inside of the car. You know, I've been focused too much on the performance side. I still have the Chevy badge, or the Chevy airbag. I do want to swap it out to possibly like the Holden airbag, or maybe the HSV airbag. But I mean, those airbags are, you know, anywhere between $400 to $600. So, you know, I've been kind of hesitant on actually swapping that out. And, you know, I'd rather spend that money somewhere else. But I think it's time, so I'll be looking at swapping this out. But yeah, pretty much. I mean, so now the Air Force gauge is up here. Previously I had it down here. I actually had like a dual pod gauge setup, but to be honest, it was not really working out for me. I mean, the gauges were down here, and it was kind of difficult, you know, trying to look at the road and then trying to look down here at the same time. So I had to get rid of it. So now I'm only using just one Air Force gauge, and I kind of have it just running down here and connected to the OBD2. And then I kind of just rigged up this little mount here for right now. But yeah, and so the other Air Force gauge, I gave it to a buddy of mine. He's using it in his Corvette, and it's working for him, so I'm glad. But for the time being, I mean, one gauge is enough, and I have HP tuner, so if I need to log anything, then you know, I'll make sure I use that. I just got a random fire extinguisher in here. You know, it's not really mounted properly. I just kind of have it sitting there for right now. I do need to figure out how to mount it, or, you know, possibly get like a fire extinguisher that's meant for like vehicles, just in case of a vehicle fire. But for right now, I mean, that's just a simple $20–$30 fire extinguisher. Nothing much to it, and you know, the family has ridden in the back a couple of times, and you know, it's more than enough space. No problems at all. All right, so next up, let's talk about I guess my drag setup. But this is a 26-inch tire, 275/40/17 Mickey Thompson ET Street R's. It's a great tire. I love it. It hooks. Now that I am making a little bit of more power, it doesn't hook as well as it used to before, you know, because I was NA before, making about 500. Now the car sits at about 700 horsepower. So pretty much anything below 50 miles an hour in second gear, it just pretty much lights them up. So I might have to go up to a 28-inch tire, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't rub or anything like that. I mean, the fenders are rolled and they are pulled out just a little bit, so I think I might be okay. I wish they made a 27-inch tall tire. So this is a 26, the 305/45/17 Mickey Thompson is a 28-inch. So I wish they made something in between it, but they don't. So we'll see. I might just keep this 26-inch tire on it. I mean, some people tell me it looks a little bit funky, but hey, I mean, it hooks. like I said, anything above 50 miles an hour, it'll pretty much hook. You know, if I start to get loose, then I'll just ease into it. So this is a 17 by 10 Welds S77. So I guess it's pretty much the CTS V2 fitment. And like I said, so this is a 17 by 10. I do want to get like a front matching set. So maybe if I go with like a 18 by 8 up front, I think that would look great. That way I finally have welds all the way around. I don't want to go anything too narrow, so I know they have like 18 by 5s. No, I'd rather go with a little bit wider wheel. So that's the plan. Go with the 18 by 8 weld S77. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I guess next video I'll probably do I'll probably get some clips of me making some pulls, talk a little bit more about the drivability. But if there's anything else you guys want me to cover here, or if you have any questions, just, you know, just feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to get back to y'all.